Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Now, I did actually do this video yesterday, but of course, by the time I actually sat down, put it onto the computer, get ready to edit it, I was seeing that IFL TV done what they always do with all the boxers' social medias. Whenever boxers put something out on social media, Instagram, Twitter, etc., they rob it, put it on their own channel, monetize it so Coogan gets paid for it. Much like Fight Hype do with Mike Tyson workouts, Roy Jones Jr. workouts, and all these kind of things. At the end of the day, it's all fair game if you have permission. If you don't, one copyright strike means no more live streaming for quite a while. So IFL, I hope you're getting permission to be doing this with all these boxers, because it just takes that one boxer turn around and go, that's mine. And then all your live streaming for your MTK shows gone. Now, what I'm talking about here is on social media, on Twitter, Instagram to be precise. Tyson Fury turned interviewer and interviewed his dad, John Fury. And of course, with Tommy Fury sat there as well. And of course, what they were talking about was this past weekend's fight card with Dillian Whyte, Alexander Povetkin, Katie Taylor versus Delphine Bassoon, etc., etc. Now, to start with, of course, they're all talking about women's boxing. Tyson and especially John is very, very keen on women's boxing. They see Katie Taylor, of course, as the spearhead of all this. Women's boxing is going forward, all that kind of stuff. And John Fury, he was talking about fight camp overall, which he actually said, thank you very much to Eddie Hearn. You've been putting on some great shows, big respect, all that kind of stuff. Again, I mean, fight camp, Matchroom, they have actually got a bit of a deficit. I think it's about £1 million or something, just so they can put on shows. So of course they do deserve credit, whether you like them or not. But John Fury is full of praise for Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, Sky for what it is that they've done. Tyson Fury said, what about Frank Warren shows? What do you think of them? John Fury said, I didn't even know that Frank Warren put in any shows. Kind of weird, isn't it? Anyway, they got talking about Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin. And John Fury, much like BJ Saunders, one of the best reviews I think I've ever seen, or seen so far in the 4 or 5 days since the fight night, which is that he was very, very honest about it. Which is that he was saying that Dillian Whyte, he was handling his business. He was dominating Alexander Povetkin, even dropped Povetkin twice in round number 4, and he got caught with one of the best punches that he's ever seen. According to John Fury, he says it's one of the best punches in boxing that he's ever seen, the way it was set up. And even Tyson Fury said, yeah, it was a hell of a punch because it looked like he was going to the body, then the last split second he turned it up and connected right on the button of Dillian Whyte. So either way, I mean, John, he was pretty much the one doing most of the talking. Of course, Tyson was chipping in along with Tommy, was saying that Dillian, first of all, he will bounce back and he will get him in the rematch. Okay. Now, he gave full credit to Povetkin as well. He's saying that, he's 40 years old, but he's in tremendous shape. He's an elite athlete. He's dangerous. And if that punch landed on any other heavyweight on the planet, they would have also gone to sleep. And even Tyson Fury agreed. So he's saying, yeah, pretty much if Povetkin ever landed that punch on me, there's a good chance I'm going to sleep too. So they gave Povetkin full credit, but they gave Dillian Whyte a hell of a lot of props as well. And this is nothing new. But for some Tyson Fury fans, as in a small minority of them, they tend to forget this kind of stuff, where John Fury and Shane Fury, especially them two, they were saying that how Dillian Whyte, when you look at the heavyweight division, Dillian Whyte is one of the very few that they would call fighting men. Even Tyson Fury said it before that, Dillian Whyte has got tremendous heart, and considering what he's done with the amount of fights that he's had, he's absolutely tremendous. And they have all the respect in the world for Dillian Whyte. And the way that Tyson and John were talking is like, they do fully believe that Dillian Whyte will get Povetkin back in the rematch. He will bounce back, and it's just a blip in the road. It's not a pothole, it's not a sinkhole, it's not a trap or anything like that. It's just a bump in the road. That's all it is. Okay, so they kept it very, very real, and they were full of respect and praise for Dillian Whyte. Again, people tend to forget that Dillian and Tyson, they're supposed to argue because they were rivals, but they do have respect for each other. Again, people forget when Tyson defeated Wilder in the rematch. Go see Dillian Whyte's reaction. Was anybody more happy than Dillian Whyte? And not because he preferred to fight Tyson Fury over Wilder, not at all. He's not too fussed. But it's a case of because he's a Brit. Dillian Whyte has always supported all the Brits. But I think some Tyson Fury fans, to be honest with you, I think some of them, they're not even Tyson Fury fans, to be honest with you. I think they're just naturally attracted to controversy. Of course, Fury, when you look at all the heavyweights, he probably does more controversial things than anybody else. So that's what they're attracted to. It's in their DNA to be haters, as in this small section of Tyson Fury fans. The majority of Tyson Fury fans are quality people. They respect even Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte and maybe even Wilder, I don't know. But this small section are complete polar opposite to anything that the Furies are about. And if Tyson Fury seen some of the comments that some of his so-called fans have been writing down, he'd be very disgusted, to be honest with you. I'm sure he would be. John Fury certainly would be. Again, it's like, because some people will say that, you know, I've been called a Tyson Fury hater before, which is kind of weird, right? As I was one of the very few people that actually defended him over the whole UCAD and British Boxing Border Control case a couple of years back, to the point where I nearly lost my channel over it because of the way that I was going on. But they haven't seen that one for some reason, or if they have, they totally forget it. But they see it as because I will criticise some things that Tyson Fury says and all that kind of thing. As in, I wasn't too convinced that he was going to beat Wilder in the first fight. And the kind of things that I said was that he was out of shape. Him fighting Sylvester Fury and Pianetta and then going over to America to take on Wilder. This was a cherry pick for Wilder. And if anybody's ever going to beat Tyson Fury, now's the time to do it, because he's not ready yet. Yeah, I get called a Tyson Fury hater because I say these kind of things. But yet John Fury says exactly the same thing. And, oh yeah, John, you're absolutely correct. But Sport and Icons, you're a hater, right? It's weird, isn't it? But either way, John, Tyson, and in part to Tommy as well, they're all very, very praisal. Is that the right word? Praisal? I don't know. Of Dillian Whyte, saying it's just one of those things. It's heavyweight boxing. It doesn't matter how good you are, and these are Tyson Fury's own words as well. It doesn't matter how good you are. You could be the odds-on favourite, and you'll beat that person 99 out of 100 times. But one punch gets through, and your lights are over, and that's the beauty of the heavyweight division. That's what happened with Dillian Whyte. They gave Dillian Whyte a hell of a lot of respect. Again, he's only had 36 fights, amateur and pro combined. Okay, and look at who he's already been in the ring with. WBC #1 for over 1,000 days, mandatory for over a year. He's been messed about left, right and centre. He's been trying to get some of these big fights. WBC interim champion, WBC silver champion, British champion, all these kind of things. People forget that he's had very, very limited experience. Very limited. So he does deserve a lot of respect. John Fury recognises that. Tyson Fury recognises that. But as I said before, this small section of so-called Tyson Fury fans don't seem to really get that. It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.